What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Trent here, coming at you guys with a new comic book haul. In today's video, I'm going to be going over all the new comic books that I picked up at my local comic book store this week. But before we get started, I'm currently on the road to 50 subscribers, so if you enjoy comic book content, movie and TV show reviews, please consider leaving a subscription down below. I always start off these videos by highlighting my favorite book from last week's pull list, and this week it was Ultimate Spider-Man issue 19, written by Jonathan Hickman and art by Marco Cicchetto. We had some awesome reveals in this issue. We saw Richard's Spider-Man suit finally Venom out. It never even once occurred to me that we would see Venom in this series, but it was super dope. The art in this is fantastic. The story is fantastic. Um, I wish this series never ends because it's so much better than what we're getting in Amazing Spider-Man currently. My only regret for this series is that I didn't start collecting it from issue 1, but I got the first trade paperback on the way right now. Such a fan of this series. Definitely recommend if you're looking for something fresh and cool from Spider-Man. With that out of the way, now we're getting to all the new comic books that came out this week. Starting off from DC Comics, we have Absolute Superman issue number 10, written by Jason Aaron and art by Carmine Di Giandomenico. I love this series. Absolute Superman is really cool. The art in this, super dope. There's a panel of Superman with his cape, and it looks crazy with the fire and the lava pouring out of him. This is a Superman full of rage, full of anger, and he's trying to learn how to balance it, trying to be the kind symbol of hope that we're most familiar with him, but he just has this violence within in him. We get to learn more about Kal-El in this issue. We learn more about his relationship with his father, the lessons that his father tries to impart on him. I thought it was a very interesting dissection of his character. And it all comes to a boiling point at the end of this issue when he has to make a choice and decision. And depending on his decision, it can go one of two ways and how people perceive him. The very end of the issue ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. I saw a lot of people making comments and theories about this in the weeks prior. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's interesting. Ra's al Ghul has a presence in this issue, so it's cool to see him. But yeah, Absolute Superman number 10. I've been really enjoying this title. I love this fresh, different, unique take on Superman. Next up from Marvel Comics, we have the conclusion of Daredevil Cold Day in Hell, written by Charles Soule and art by Steve McNiven. This is issue 3 of this story. I really enjoyed this book. I love the series all the way through. Charles Soule, I've become quite a fan of him. I actually recently finished reading his book, The Light of the Jedi, which came out a couple years ago. And I enjoyed that book. I'm going to probably read the rest of that trilogy too. But back to topic, Daredevil Cold in Hell, the conclusion, I really liked it. I think it was a good way to wrap up all the characters in this book and still set up why Daredevil as a hero is important to Hell's Kitchen and to New York and to the readers and everyone else. Really great conclusion. The art style, it's a little different. It's very unique, but I think it fits within this story. So yeah, Daredevil Cold in Hell, great little mini series. I loved every single issue of it. Next up from Marvel Comics, we have One World Under Doom issue 6, written by Ryan North and art by R.B. Silva. I more or less did enjoy this issue. I thought this was going to be the final issue of this event. And it kind of felt like, with how the last issue ended, this was going to be the one that wrapped it up. But we're still going. This issue mostly is a conversation between Doom and Mr. Fantastic, and it's televised. And they're having a debate on whether or not like Doom is like actually fit to rule the world, or if there's something more nefarious going on. Yeah, I thought this issue was just okay. I feel like maybe we're setting up to a more personal conclusion of this series with Doom and Richards going head to head, and not just like this all out fight that the last issues kind of have been. But yeah, I'm still gonna follow along. I enjoy Ryan North's writing for the most part, but this has felt like one of the weaker issues. I think there was an opportunity to end this storyline with issue 6, but we're gonna keep going and we'll see where it takes us. It was interesting, not that surprising, but we'll see where we go to wrap up this event in the next couple issues in the next couple months. Next up from Marvel Comics, we have Ultimate Wolverine, issue 8, written by Chris Condon and art by Alessandro Capuccio. I really enjoyed this issue. We got to see the introduction of the ultimate version of Angel, Wolverine, and the rest of the X-Men squad go on this like mission when they run into Angel. I really enjoyed this issue. I feel like we're finally hitting our stride. I really enjoyed this issue. I feel like we're finally hitting our stride in terms of story. Wolverine is no longer really brainwashed. He's out for revenge. He wants to kill the people who put him into the Winter Soldier program and all that. So he's teaming up with the rest of these like ragtag group of X-Men. That being said, I'm kind of sad because I think this series is also wrapping up pretty soon, and we're just now like getting to see this version of Wolverine teaming up with other X-Men. Like this issue we have Gambit and Beast and other familiar faces from the X-Men franchise. And I want to see more. I want to see more of that. So I'm hoping that when this series eventually concludes, they still somehow come up with a way to keep these characters around. The art in this series has been great from the very beginning. The design they came up with for Angel in this was really cool. Yeah, overall, I enjoy Ultimate Wolverine. I wish they keep this one going because I like this one a lot. All right, last but certainly not least, from Marvel Comics, we got Captain America issue 2, written by Chip Zdarsky and art by Valerio Shaiti. This is really good. I really enjoy this. Chip Zdarsky was not familiar with your work before, man, but he is slowly climbing up the ranks. I love this take on Captain America. It's a Captain America that wasn't unfrozen in like the 50s or 60s. It's a Captain America that was frozen at the height of the War on Terror in the 2000s. It's a Captain America who's trying to learn how to navigate the conflict in the Middle East. I think what I find so interesting about this take on Captain America is I remember growing up, like hearing about the Iraq War, like seeing it on the news and like my parents talking about it and stuff like that. For me, growing up in America, I only heard about the American side of things. So I only saw what the news wanted to show me. And in some ways, it was like, as a young, impressionable mind, I was falling victim to like American propaganda. I thought like, oh, we're the good guys. Obviously, we're the good guys, and those people over there are the bad guys. But this book puts you on the ground, and you see more about how complex this situation really was, told in a comic book form. You know, as I've grown older, I'm not completely like I'm not wearing rose tinted glasses when I look at the country I grew up in. Like we're living crazy, unprecedented times. I think this book is very important right now because it's critiquing the American war and propaganda machine. It's like you take this symbol of America, Captain America, and you put him into this conflict. Like, what's going to happen? Yeah, I really enjoy this. I love the setup of it. I love the characters. I think this new Captain America they have, David Colton. I think he's really interesting because he grew up idolizing Steve, but he fought in the Middle East. Like he was a participant in that. He didn't fight in World War II like Captain America did. His conflict was very different. So they have two different viewpoints on how to engage with civilians, how to engage with combatants and stuff like that. I think it's really cool. I feel like the two of them, the two captains, are going to go head to head on some point because of their conflicting ideals. I love how this is still kind of tying in to like everything going on with Doom. But yeah, I hope this give me like 20 plus issues of this series. I absolutely love it. I think it's so good. Make me a fan of Chip Zdarsky. I gotta check out his Daredevil stuff too because I heard that was great as well. All right, that brings me to the end of today's comic book haul. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like down below, comment, let me know what are you guys reading, what have you guys been enjoying, and please subscribe to the channel for more comic book hauls, movies, and TV show reviews. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a week.